first, since we have Lockwood.
Your Honor, yesterday I was having such bad technical difficulties because I couldn't hear anybody, and then I went on my iPad and it kept flipping off on me. Well, today I figured out that my speakers were unplugged.
Okay.
So,
That makes sense now. So
yeah, I can conquer the world. I know how to plug things in now.
in the interest of KJ, for a permanency review after final order. Thank you much. Mr. Burt, you may proceed.
Yes, I call Miss Lyons.
Right.
And how are you familiar with Kinsley?
I'm her caseworker.
And how long have you been involved in this case?
Since December.
Okay. Where is Kinsley currently placed?
Can you say that again?
Where is Kinsley currently placed?
She is placed in a kinship home in, I believe, Orange, Texas. Orange County.
And how is she doing in this placement?
She is doing very well.
Can you describe how she's doing, and just give a general overview of a description of the child and how she's doing in her current placement?
Yes. Kinsley is a vibrant, very talkative 6-year-old young girl. She is up to date on all her medicals and dentals. She isn't on any medication at this time. And she's placed in a loving kinship home.
Very good. And how long has she been in this placement?
I don't know the exact month, but it has been a few months now.
What's the permanency plan, the permanency goals and concurrent goals for the child?
Relative conservatorship is the primary, with relative adoption as a concurrent.
All right. And are all her needs being met in her placement?
Yes.
Is there anything regarding medical, dental, psychological that this court needs to be aware of?
No.
Has Kinsley made it to any and all appointments that have been scheduled for her?
Yes, to my knowledge.
Is she a healthy young child?
Yes.
What do you see going forward for Kinsley and her current placement?
Currently, Kinsley's current placement would like to receive PMC of Kinsley with no benefits. They're not interested in becoming a licensed placement at this time.
Okay, and what is it in the best interest for her to be in this placement?
Yes.
And everything's safe and appropriate for Kinsley?
Yes.
And what is the recommendation of the department today to the court?
To grant PMC to Mr. and Mrs. Berry, Kinsley's current placement.
All right. So I would pass the witness, Your Honor.
all right, thank you.
Miss Lyons, ultimately, do they really want to adopt her?
Yes.
All right. So they just don't want to go through licensing, but have they completed a home study for the department?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And how long ago was that home study conducted?
I do not know.
It was kind of at the beginning of the case, so it's been quite a while, hasn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Well over a year. So has there been any updates to that home study?
Not to my knowledge.
All right, because she was placed there about 5 months ago in August.
Yes.
But at this time, have you spoken to both the placement husband and wife?
I have spoken to Mrs. Berry. I haven't spoken to the husband.
All right. Has she indicated that he's in agreement with figuring out how to adopt her on their own?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And I believe she's on today.
She is. I see her there. Well, I see her name. But thank you so much, and I will pass you as a witness. Oh, no. Is Kinsley having any kind of contact with her mother or her grandmother?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. I didn't think so. I just wanted to make sure. I have no further questions. I'll pass you as a witness.
All right, thank you. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that I ordered no contact, no post-termination contact with the mother. Is that y'all's recollection?
Yes, Your Honor. I was just kind of seeing if she's reached out, but I can ask Miss Jones as well.
Right, okay. And I believe we left open the possibility of visitation with the grandmother if that becomes in the child's best interest. Okay. All right. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. Burt. Any other questions or witnesses?
No, Your Honor, I would let Ms. Lockwood call CASA if she would.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Bythewood, you may call your first.
I ought to just rest, Your Honor, but I'll call CASA.
Okay, I've been on the case since July, I believe. That was when Kinsley came to stay with the Berries.
All right. And you have been so hands-on with her. How is she doing?
She's doing really well. She was put on medication in December. And when I saw her in December, it was the first time she's ever appeared to be really tired. And she said she had gotten up early that morning. I know that can be a side effect of the medication too, and that concerned me, but otherwise she's doing great.
And how are her behaviors doing in the home?
Her behaviors in the home and in school as well have improved with the medication. She's on a very light dose of it, unless that's been changed in the last, well, since Christmas.
There was a lot of aggression prior to the medication.
I guess you could call it aggression. She just, well, for one thing, she couldn't seem to behave in school. She always was trying to start something with the other children, but that's all changed. I think now she's doing really well in school and at home as well.
And what do you believe is in the best interest of this child?
I believe her placement is wonderful. I would like to see that continue for her.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. I'll pass you as a witness.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Burt.
No questions, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ms. Stanley. Ms. Bythewood, you may call your next.
I'd like to call Emily Pillows. All right. And as the supervisor, do you routinely review cases to determine whether or not the department can agree to adoptions or not?
Yes, but it's usually kind of a team process. It's not just, I'm not just the sole person that makes that determination.
Right. But you're one of the people who do,
I'm in the
correct?
state of Texas. I do have a code ID number. 409.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. You may continue, Ms. Bythewood.
Ms. Pillows, have you been able to review this particular case?
Not the specifics, but I have reviewed the court report.
All right. And you understand there is a home study that's been approved. It's quite old, but do you believe the department could consent to the adoption of this child in this family?
Yes, but it's my understanding that the caregiver doesn't want to become licensed as far as she would rather seek a private adoption outside of the department or through the department.
I understand, but that just means that she wouldn't be entitled to any benefits. But if she were to intervene, so to speak, into this case, asking for adoption through this judge, would the department, as the permanent managing conservator, be in agreement?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Not that I'm asking to do anything right now, but I just
No, I understand.
you know, but I just kind of wanted to put it out there, and we can talk afterwards, but I just wanted to make sure that you would be in agreement and you would consent to it as the child's custodian.
Well, I mean, if the department would, yes.
The state. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. And that's all I had to ask you. I'll pass you as a witness.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you, Mr. Burt.
No questions, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. All right, Ms. Blackwood, you may call your next.
And just Miss Jones, Miss Ashley Jones.
All right. Ms. Jones, good morning. Were you sworn in?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you very much. So
You're
Ms.
welcome.
proceed. Mhm.
Okay. Miss Ashley, you've been taking care of this child for about 5 or 6 months. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And what do you want? How do you want to move forward in this case?
We were hoping that we could do PMC and then later on adoption.
All right. Are you wanting to do adoption later on? Strike that. I can ask you that privately. Would you be willing to have a conversation with me after court today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That's all I have. Anything that Kinsley needs right now?
No, ma'am. She's doing good.
Okay. How's the medication working for her?
It's doing good. She can really focus now in class. The teacher said she's improving. A big improvement since day one.
All right. And has she been asking about her mother?
She does on and off, but she is seeing a counselor, so that's helping a lot.
Right. And has her mother reached out to you or attempted to contact you?
She has reached out to me, but she has not spoken with Kinsley. Neither has Grandma.
Okay. Has Grandma reached out to you?
She did over the weekend. Mom is supposedly in ICU in Galveston, and she just wanted to let me know. But no contact with Mom for Kinsley.
Okay. Kinsley's mom is in ICU?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And if you learn anything, will you keep us updated, please, ma'am?
Yes. She's also 31 weeks pregnant.
Yeah, I saw that on Facebook, but I don't have any further questions for you. I'll pass you as a witness.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Burt.
No questions, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Ms. Jones, thank you. Any other witnesses, Ms. Whitewood?
No, sir, I think I've run out of people on this case.
Okay. All right. Anything else from anyone else? Okay. Well, I would expect either a modification or a petition for adoption to be filed before we come back. But until then, the court will set our next permanency review on July the 3rd, 10 a.m., and continue the department as the permanent managing conservator, continue the placement with Ashley Jones, finding that that's in the best interest of the child. The court notes the department's permanency goals, And if there's not anything else from anyone else, I will sign orders to that effect, and you may be excused. Thank you all very much.
Your Honor, I have a quick question for the court.
Sure.
Following the new rules in concerning adoptions, where a home study is not necessary for good cause, would the court consider that, or maybe even an outdated home study?
I would consider that. I think there has been one occasion, I believe in Jasper County, where the court has actually done that.
Yes, I think the child was sitting next to me at the time.
Well, maybe so, maybe so. And I don't. So, are we pretty close to the 6 months?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. But
And
I'll
there's a possibility of that being waived too. But I certainly will take all that up when you or somebody gets it before me.
thank you, sir. And that's all I have. If I could be excused until I see you in Jasper.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And
Thank you very much.
The court will
Thank you.
note and take judicial notice of, if there are no objections, of Ms. Hollier's report that she has filed. She is in a dual role in this case for this child, and so the court will note her report that's been filed with the clerk. Mr. Burt, you may call your first.
Yes, I'd call Miss Lyons.
All right.
And where is Gabriel currently placed?
Gabriel is currently placed in a kinship home with his paternal grandparents.
Okay. And how's the child doing in that current placement?
He is doing well. He is a busy, active 1-year-old.
Is the placement appropriate in meeting the needs of the child?
Yes.
Are there any special needs that need to be met regarding the child?
No.
What are the goals that were put in place for this child, permanency?
The primary goal is relative adoption.
Okay. And how is the plan and the goal proceed?
Gabriel actually has been transferred to the adoptions unit. His new caseworker is Christina Peterson, and the kinship home has been is working on finishing their licensing through an agency. I can't remember the name of the agency.
Okay. So Kristen Peterson is where this case has been transferred to. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. But during the times that you've been involved, are you still involved in the process, or have you totally dropped out of the process?
I am out of the process. He was transferred the beginning of this month.
But while the child was under your caseload, everything was going well with the child. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. I'd pass the witness, Your Honor, but I don't see any other attorneys on here.
No, I don't. I do see Kristen Peterson.
Yes, I will call her, Your Honor.
Okay. And Ms. Lyons, thank you. Ms. Peterson, if you can unmute and first let me know that you have been sworn in. Mr. Burt, can you all hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. And Your Honor, I would suggest we go to, I believe, Ms. Hardy and talk with her a bit, give Ms. Peterson some time.
Okay, very good. So I believe I see Monica Hardy. So Ms. Hardy, if you can unmute, let me know that you were sworn in, please.
I am here and I'm sworn in, but I don't have
Okay.
We have moved to the Neal case.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear that part.
Oh, not quite yet.
What's that?
We're not to Neil quite yet.
Oh, okay. I thought we're in more. I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong paperwork.
Yes, but Ms. Hardy, you're on Neil, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So stand by. We're going to get to you next.
Okay,
Thank
Mr. Justice, I'm sorry.
And I know the
Move to the-
justices have been sworn in.
All right, I call Miss Judy Justice.
That work? Okay.
That did work. Okay.
Good
Okay.
morning, Miss Justice.
Good morning.
Tell us about Gabriel. How's he doing?
Oh, Gabriel's fine. He's growing like a little weed. He's walking now,
That's good.
and yeah, and he's trying to say words. He's due for therapy. We're putting him in therapy for his speech and for his what was the other one? Occupational therapy.
Yeah.
To help him pick up little stuff. He has trouble picking up little stuff. But other than that, he's doing great.
And to a Miss Kristen Peterson. Are you familiar with that name?
No, sir.
Okay, where are y'all at concerning the adoption of Gabriel?
We haven't talked to anyone. We're having trouble getting a hold of pathways, the ones that we're going through. We've turned everything in and we've left message after message and email after email, and our kinship workers left messages. They're not getting back to us. So I don't know. They were supposed to run an audit last we heard, and we haven't heard from them in a month. But we're still texting and messaging.
And y'all are prepared to adopt when the time comes. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That's exactly what we want.
And just a little info, you may be able to chat with Miss Lyons, and she can give you contact information that may help as well. Okay.
Okay.
Going back to Gabriel, how old is Gabriel now?
Gabriel's 15 months old.
And he seems to be doing everything age appropriate. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
How's he doing medically? Is he meeting all his
He's doing good. Yes, sir.
So,
That's the only time I've had to take him to the doctors is for his shots. He's been doing good.
given the extreme weather conditions
He's met
and
all his
flu outbreaks, he's only one time to go to get shots. I'd say he's pretty healthy. Would you concur, or
Yeah.
would you?
Yes, sir. We try not to get him out at all if we don't have to.
I don't blame you. I wouldn't get. I wouldn't be here today if I didn't.
But
have
he
to.
doesn't like it. I hear you.
I understand.
He doesn't like being in the house. He loves the front porch.
How's it going with you, your husband, and Gabriel? How are y'all getting along?
Oh, we get along fine. We do good.
Are there any
We
specific
take
needs?
turns.
Are there
No,
any
sir.
specific needs that y'all have that y'all need?
No, sir. Everything's fine.
Or are y'all looking forward to adopting Gabriel?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything that you can think of that this court needs to know concerning Gabriel's placement with you guys?
No, sir. Not that I can think of. I think we've discussed everything.
Okay. Your Honor, unless Ms. Peterson is on, I believe I'd pass this witness as well.
All right, thank you. And we certainly thank the justices for all that they've done and really appreciate the pictures, seeing the pictures last time we were in court in person. Have you all contacted, been in touch with an attorney for the adoption yet?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Well, that will be coming up fairly soon. You might also, if you need some help, kind of shaking Pathways tree, you might want to give Ms. Hollier a call as well. But how
Okay.
how close do you all feel you are to being licensed?
Well, all we have to do is they have to
Have to do one more audit.
yeah, we're waiting on the audit.
Okay, so kind of in that holding pattern because of I guess the lack of contact they've had or response from them to you all.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. Let's see. Ms. Peterson, can you hear us? All right. Good morning, Ms. Peterson. Can you hear us?
Judge, I think she might be having some computer issues. Jasmine just sent me a thing on Teams, and I think that she's kind of having some technical difficulties.
Okay, very good. I just want to make sure the justices have her. She's the adoption worker, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I just want to make sure the justices have her contact information and vice versa.
I can send it over
Okay.
right now.
Very good. All right. Anything else from anyone else? Okay. Well, let's get this adoption done. In the meantime, the department has continued as the permanent managing conservator. Certainly, the placement with the justices shall continue in the best interest of the child. The court certainly approves of the primary permanency goal. I'm going to go ahead and set this for our next statutory hearing with the hopes that we won't need it because the adoption will be consummated, we hope, well in advance of that. But if we need it, the next hearing is July the 3rd. At 10 a.m. So wouldn't it be wonderful for that adoption to occur way before then?
Yes, sir.
So thank you all for everything and continue to take care. All right, so thank you all
Yes,
very
thank
much.
you.
After final order, Ms. Hollier, as the attorney ad litem for the children, has also filed a report in this case, of which the court does hereby take judicial notice of. And the court has read it and reviewed it. All right, thank you. Mr. Burt, you may call your first.
Miss Lyons, how are you?
Good.
Again, I think I'm on the correct case this time. Miss Lyons, please bring us up to date on how Jasper and Selena are doing, where they're currently placed, and any special needs that they may need. Could you give us an overview of where we are?
Yes. Jasper and Selena are placed in the home with the Hardy family. They have been there for, I want to say, over a year. At this time, Jasper is he has been scheduled to be tested for emotional disturbance at school. He is in special education, and Selena has a 504 plan. Both of them attend therapy, and Miss Hardy is looking at speaking with the therapist to get Jasper on some type of medication to help him focus in school. He has been having some troubles at school regarding behavior and focusing in class.
All right, based on Jasper's cans, he had several recommendations. Is he following, or are those recommendations being followed?
Yes.
All right, so he is getting group support, therapy, following up with pediatricians of that nature.
Yes, with therapy, Jasper is participating as much as he wants to. He doesn't really he likes the therapist, but he doesn't really speak about anything.
Okay. What about his social activities at school? Is he participating in anything?
Yes, he is on the basketball team.
Okay. And how's that going?
He really enjoys it. Last time I spoke with him was the day of a game, and he was really excited about participating.
That's good. That's good. Is there anything special that the court needs to address regarding Jasper?
No.
Okay.
Miss Hardy does want to take both children out of state for spring break to Bronson, Missouri, I think.
Branson, Missouri?
Yes.
I'm sure they'd have a blast there. So, yeah, I can't see a reason why the judge wouldn't allow that to happen unless I'm speaking off the cuff. So right now, Jasper's current placement is safe and appropriate and meeting all his needs. Is that correct?
Yes. Selena is doing well. She is benefiting from therapy a lot. Last time I spoke with her, she said that it's helping her. Therapy is helping her with her tantrums and helping her understand some of her emotions. She loves her placement and she's doing well there. And she's up to date on her medicals.
And how's school treating her?
She does have a 504 plan with accommodations. No complaints about school. They're following the 504 plan.
She seemed to be getting along well with the Hardys.
Yes, she loves them.
All right. So is there any concerns that this court needs to be aware of concerning Selena?
No.
Okay. What is the recommendation of the state at this time?
To continue placement, and we are currently working on transferring this case to the adoptions unit also.
Very good. Thank you. No further questions for Ms. Lyons, Your Honor. And I believe that falls in line with the attorney ad litem's report that you took notice of her recommendations.
All right.
At this time,
you may call you next.
All right. Ms. Greer. All right. Tell us about Jasper and Selena. How are things going in their current placement?
They had a great Christmas. I went and saw them last Saturday. Selena has her own room now, and she is very excited. I went and sat on the floor with her, and we read a book and played with her dolls. Jasper and I attempted to communicate, but he was gaming. And we talked a little bit about school. They seem very happy.
Okay. And are you in agreement with the department in that adoption is a good plan for this child?
Absolutely. CASA is in agreement to move towards adoption.
All right. Are there anything that you need to share with the court concerning these children and their current placement?
No, sir. I think all steps are being taken to address their needs.
And you feel like the adoption's in the best interest, or placing the children into the adoption process with the Hardys is in the best interest for these children?
Yes, sir.
All right. Very good. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I believe it's time for Ms. Hardy.
Okay, very good. And you were sworn, Ms. Hardy. Yes, Ms. Greer, thank you very, very much.
Is it cold where you are?
It is very cold.
Did you get the kids up and off to school this morning?
Yes, they were not excited about it. They're not a fan. We had to get a new vehicle in October to fit all of our kids in, and Jasper just couldn't be more thrilled about the seat warmers in his car. So he's the only one that can ride in the front seat. So he thinks he's sitting high and mighty. So
Indeed. All right. How let's start with Jasper. How is Jasper progressing?
he's doing well. We've had a lot of back and forth with him being, he's a teenager, so a lot of that teenage boyhood. But he's doing better with school and behaviorally. He hasn't gotten into any physical altercations in 2 months now, so that's a big deal. We're celebrating small successes here. So he has had a lot of issues with impulsivity at school. A lot of it has to do with his cognitive, where he's at, his cognitively. He's very gullible and he's impulsive. And so we're hoping that once we start medicating and treating the ADD, that will help with his behaviors and help him to focus on his schoolwork more. He is trying. It's hard for him because he's still not really able to read. So, but we're making progress. We're getting there.
As far as progress is concerned, have you seen him grow in leaps and bounds since placement with you?
I would say absolutely yes. In many different facets. When he came, his previous placement said he would shower once a month, and he'd have to force him to do it. He would refuse to go to school. He gets up early every morning to fix his hair for school every day, and he showers almost every day because he likes to smell good. And so he's going to school. He's bringing his homework. He does a lot of grumbling, and we do a lot of tug of war on getting his homework done. But I wouldn't be able to do that if he didn't tell me that he had it in the first place. So I'm calling that a win. Very good. And you are ready to welcome him as one of your own. Is that correct? I am. I know that it'll be a little bit more challenging with him because he's had some increased challenges with me in particular lately, after learning about the loss of his mother. I think, that's been especially difficult, but my husband has been a big help in stepping in and filling that role. And he's one of us. So. Very good. And are there any special concerns that you need to make aware of the court regarding Jasper? No, sir, I don't believe so. Okay. Selena, how's Selena doing? How old is Selena now? She has a birthday coming up on the 18th, and she'll be 7. She's very excited. We already busted out her birthday present. She got a hoverboard, and she's rolling around all over the house. So she couldn't wait. And how's she doing as far as, is she in any therapy or anything of that nature? Yes, both of the kids see the therapist every Wednesday. They go weekly. She's in play therapy. She loves seeing her counselor. We were doing really well, getting better in regards to her fits. We've had a back turn. So we're hoping that we can make some progress. We're trying to work on getting a family session with the therapist so that maybe we can talk out some things all together. She doesn't like her therapist knowing that she's thrown a fit. She doesn't like that. She's not proud of it, that once it's done. So her therapist has done a lot of work on giving her visual aids, pictures of the brain, and showing her, identifying her sadness and feelings and emotions and things that she can do to try to bring it down from red to green. So not to get too past the boiling point. So it was doing, like I said, we were doing really well. We've had a backslide in this past month, but we're hoping that maybe we can get us a family session and get back on track. But in all, you see a child that is working to improve. Is that correct? I have never seen a child work harder to improve than Selena. She works hard in school. She does have her uncontrollable fits that can get pretty extreme, but she tries not to. She works really hard and she's so excited when she does calm herself down. She makes sure she points it out to me that she calmed herself down. She works really hard to grow in school and to help out and to be the best of everything. No child's ever worked as hard as that girl does.
So in all, since she's been placed with you, just like Jasper, you've seen leaps and bounds of improvement. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
And you want nothing but the best for them. Is that correct also?
Absolutely.
And you understand that this case will be moving away from Miss Lyons and into the adopted services. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You're fully on board with all of that.
Yes. The kids are super hoping for it. They've already gone and told everybody at school that they're going to be adopted.
Indeed. Thank you so much for everything that you've done for these children and what you continue to do for these children. Your Honor, that's all that I have.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Hardy, we are so appreciative, so in awe of all that you and your husband have done. Also, please, if you will, tell Selena and Jasper how proud the judge is of both of them. I'm so proud of them.
I will. That'll mean a lot, especially to Selena.
They are my heroes today. So that's great. All right. So
Your Honor, I'd be asking that the department continue current placement until such time as it can be transferred over and adoption be completed.
okay, and I certainly will, and hopefully that will be completed as soon as possible. I also am going to order and authorize the out-of-state travel for the children.
Thank you.
Whenever that is set to occur, so you all have a great safe time in Branson.
Thank you.
I believe that's what I heard. So the new vehicle will come in handy on that
Yes.
version for sure. Okay. All right. So of course, placement continues. Thank all of you for all of the long, hard, and great work that you all have done for these children. Now, how is the scoliosis?
Are you asking me?
Yes, Ms. Hardy. Yes.
It's
been a while since we talked about the brace and all of that.
Yes, we actually took him to Louisiana to Shriners to be evaluated by them. And they said that at this point, the curve in his spine is starting to his spine is starting to harden as it should. So bracing is not necessary. It's not going to help anymore. It's too late for that. It's not going into anything that should cause any major concerns because of the way that it's curved. It's curved to the right. So they said we'll just monitor it and go back in 3 months and have them recheck it. But otherwise, he is cleared for basketball, and they said to keep him stretching as much as possible and keep him limber. But otherwise, there's not really. They said it shouldn't affect him at all. We just have to keep watching it. Hopefully it doesn't get too far. If it goes to, I don't remember the degree, then they'll have to consider surgery, but they don't expect with it hardening the way it is, they don't expect it to get that far.
Okay. Well, great.
He was very excited to not have to wear the brace anymore. So
I'm sure. Well, y'all give somebody win the lottery and give a whole bunch of money to Shriners Hospital
They're amazing. They are.
and St. Jude's while you're at it.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you all so much. Anything else from anyone else? All right. So PMC continues, placement continues. I'm going to set it for the next hearing with the hope that we will not need it because the adoption will have been consummated. But if we need it, our next permanency review is hereby set for July the 3rd at 10 a.m. Okay. Mr. Burt, I believe this concludes our docket.
I believe it does, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Anything else from anyone else? Thank you all very, very much. Stay warm and safe. And Mr. Burt,